Welcome back. Let us quickly recap chapter 1, Sanctify. Sanctify. God has always sought our attention, and now He is inviting us once again. Are we passionate enough to hear from Him? But why did He say sanctify? What does it truly mean from God's perspective? Listening with attention. We may say, I'm listening, but how keenly? Are our ears, our minds, and even our senses fully focused on Him, or are distractions pulling us away? Keen ears. Even eyesight can impair our ability to hear spiritually. How alert is your heart to catch the voice of God above all else? Holiness. True holiness is relational. God listens to us, and in return He desires that we listen with His thoughts in mind. He is holy, you also be holy. It is about being mindful of Him just as He is mindful of us. Holiness is measured by inner attentiveness, not by outward acts. Indifference toward God. Has God's constant presence become so familiar that our hearts are no longer stirred to listen? Are we still distracted, failing to see the urgency of His invitation? A plan to understand God's importance. How does God work to regain our attention? Sometimes through deprivation, sometimes by disturbing the comfort of our lives. Even when life feels easy or full of distractions, His plan is to direct our hearts toward Him. Slavery in our lives. Just as Israel lost everything in Egypt, our own brokenness and trials are allowed to turn our hearts back to God to help us seek Him above all else. A hardened heart. Do we turn back to God, or do we remain stubborn, resisting His call? Preparing to meet God. God desires to meet us, but with eagerness, focus, and passion. Meeting Him requires an attentive heart, not mere routine compliance. Outward readiness. Consider the rituals He instructed: washing clothes, abstaining from sex, removing idols for 3 days. Do these acts alone bring us closer to God, or were they meant to direct our focus inward? Inner readiness. God seeks the readiness of the heart, eagerness, attentiveness, and passion to hear His voice. True sanctification happens when our heart aligns with God, not just our actions. Understanding the gaps from chapter 1. In chapter 1, we began to touch on the meaning of sanctify and holiness, but it's easy to miss the deeper reality behind these words. To sanctify is not simply to perform outward acts, follow rituals, or live a clean life. True sanctification is passionate listening, a heart fully focused on God, eager to catch His voice in every moment. Yet, why is it so rare to experience this passion? Often we have grown indifferent because God is always around us. His presence feels familiar, and our minds drift to the distractions of life. So holiness then is measured not by outward preparation, but by the inner readiness of the heart to listen, respond, and align with God's will. God has always sought to capture our attention. Look at the cries, plagues, and slavery in Egypt. Even in human history, these were not mere punishments. They were divine methods to break our distractions and draw our hearts back to Him, to make us truly see His importance. In our own lives, suffering, deprivation, or loss often serves the same purpose: to help us turn inward, focus on God, and realize what truly matters. Yet even in these moments, hearts can harden, and we can miss the invitation to meet Him. If even the word sanctify can be misunderstood, imagine how much deeper the gap is in understanding the words of God. Outward rituals and actions are empty without this inner passion. It is the heart's attention, the eager listening, that matters most. As you move in chapter 2, keep this gap in mind. Pay close attention, reason prayerfully, and let your mind and heart connect the dots, so that every word in this book becomes a doorway to the heartbeat of God.